install the autos to have French operating software and French keyboards installed on the computers in their workstations. Now, there's nothing in the law which specifically entitles the autos to insist on that, but they use this general power to insist on an ever-increasing use of French to achieve this result.
Okay, you use the word consist, and I'm thinking of the word coerced. Which is it?
Well, it's coerced, and what's interesting, and I haven't seen this mentioned in any of the news reports on the subject, a company that is in default of the franchisation provisions becomes automatically excluded from any government largesse. That means government contracts, research credit, tax credit. If you're on the blacklist, then the company is disqualified from receiving any government generosity. Now, what's interesting is, Pratt & Whitney still, they're just getting a certificate of franchisation now. Here it is almost, 30 years after the coming into force of the law. Bombardier, in the same field, the aeronautics field, only got their certificate last year. So, the big boys, the big players, big businesses, have not been leaned on by the government anywhere near like, my clients, which are, smaller businesses. They've been taken to task decades ago to get a certificate of franchisation and to embark on this process of ever-increasing use of French, whereas major players are only just now getting certificates of franchisation.
So, first of all, with respect to this certificate of franchisation, I mean, outside of the grants and the government largesse that you described, what does it do? Why do you need to have this if you're just a small business and you don't get money from the government?
Well, you have to have 50 employees in order for the obligation to come into play in the first place. And let's say, so unless fewer than 50 employees, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have more than that, and you do not respect the provisions of the law, there are very hefty fines. Now, I haven't looked recently. I know that the Liberals under Jean Charest tripled the fines, but I haven't looked at these particular provisions, what they're up to, but it's tens of thousands of dollars in fines if the government wants to go that route. So there are consequences for not respecting these rules.
So that's for businesses of 50 employees or more, and that's, I guess, what we talked about during the last election when they wanted to change this from 50 to PQ to 25.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, the interesting thing about that is that it would triple the number of businesses that become subject to these rules. And I've always maintained that these provisions, the franchisation provisions, are the most suspect provisions of all of the charter prescribers. They amount to an affirmative action program for the majority. And normally we have affirmative action programs for minorities. But here in Quebec, we have an affirmative action program for the majority. Now, the reason why major corporations haven't challenged these provisions is that, they want to take care of their shareholders and they want to be good corporate citizens, and they certainly don't want to become poster children for language spat with the government. So employers generally have not in the past had an interest in contesting this legislation. Employees want to keep their job. And so it's a situation where, my opinion, that these provisions are highly suspect. They haven't been challenged because an appropriate petitioner hasn't stepped up to the plate.
Because no one wants to get to the point, as you just outlined, where they're going to challenge this, it just doesn't pay. But I'm wondering, small companies, and you've represented a lot of small owners in this country, business owners, it's over stuff like signage in stores. It's not an issue like franchisation certificates, and that's right. You think that's not likely to happen?
Well, I mean, I have represented clients that have 50 or more employees, and my first advice to them is to comply if they can. I mean, they're in the business not to challenge the law. They're in the business, to make money and take care of their shareholders and their employees. So my first advice is to comply if they can, and then you work out a deal that the company can live with. Because it's in their best interest in normal circumstances to do that. But we'll see what happens if ever the threshold is lowered and we suddenly have a lot more companies subject to the legislation. There increases the possibility will say, well, no, I don't accept this, and they'll challenge the law.
Although, as you just said, as you outlined, and I had no idea this was the case, I mean, if the idea is that you're supposed to every 3 years submit this report to the point where you eventually become entirely French, we're talking about every business with more than 50 employees, as things stand now, becoming completely French businesses.
Well, that's right. And now it takes time, and depending on the nature of the enterprise, and there are some exemptions. For example, head offices and research centers can get exemptions. And that's one of the things that I do for clients is try and have your operations fit within the exemptions. But generally speaking, and that is the purpose of the law, is to fantasize private workplace to the point where, and this is the expression used in the law, to generalize the use of French at all levels of the enterprise. So, and I don't think a lot of your listeners would have been aware that that is the extent to which the legislation actually goes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I certainly was. And I'm just wondering, when you use that keyboard example, how ludicrous that must seem for an English school board to be forced to use French keyboards and computer systems, software systems at work. I mean, that's crazy.
It is. Well, there's all kinds of examples, like perhaps not as blatant as that one, but there's all kinds of examples where it absolutely makes no sense because of the nature of the business. A business, for example, that has any kind of dealings with the rest of the world, too often language policy treats Quebec like it was this hermetically sealed place with no contact with the outside world. Well, is this certainly the case in this age of information technology? The world is becoming smaller and smaller. And the prevailing language, of course, of international business is English. So it has to be viewed as a level of government regulation that is nothing but an expense. It does not, assist a business, in terms of, maintaining profitability. It does exactly the opposite.
Yeah, sure. Well, I wonder if we ever get beyond this, As someone who's lived here his whole life, I'm wondering if we ever do, and it's unlikely we will. But hey, if we don't talk about it and we don't do something.
No, I think we will, Aaron. I deal with a lot of young francophones who are trying to get their kids into English school, and my hope is, the 18 to 25 age group in particular, and the polls certainly show that their support for sovereignty, with no related issue to language, is next to nil. I'm hopeful that as they grow older and acquire more political and economic influence, that a lot of the more coercive and intrusive aspects of Bill 101 will be seen as unnecessary.
Well, I'm glad that someone's hopeful, Brent, so thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time as always. Brent Tyler talking about some stuff I didn't know about, certainly as far as that's concerned with the language issue in this province. 417, let's go to the CJD Traffic Center, see what's going on. Kira Yeager is there. Kira?
It's actually a lot better than it was yesterday at this time. So right now there's a good amount of congestion, though, if you're heading up into the Laurentian. So your delay on Laurentian North begins above the 440 and does go all the way into Saint Jerome and even a little bit past Saint Jerome. So right now there is that congestion. Also getting word coming in of an accident, which is up in Blainville on Laurentian North. I just got word of that, so we'll get more info. And there's been an incident on 13 South for a little while now on the Vachon Bridge involving a truck, so there's some congestion just before the Vachon Bridge right now on 13 South. 13 North into Laval is surprisingly moving quite well, as are your routes out to the West Island, and Décarie North and South are looking good too. There's a bit of minor volume top end up Décarie North. For the outbound Mercier, that will back you into Ville St. Pierre, and for the outbound Champlain, that'll back you out to around de la Vérendrye. It's looking decent for the Victoria and Jacques Cartier and La Fontaine outbound is busy from Sherbrooke. Summer is short, so make the most of it with a quick trip to Pharmaprix for summer essentials like sunscreen and snacks. Pharmaprix has your summer covered. Traffic and transit every 15 minutes on CJD 800. Next report, 4:30.
All right, thank you very much, Kira. 419, we're to come back and run down the day in business. American markets were closed today for the July 4th holiday, but we'll find out what's happening here. And maybe ask the question, too, about Canada being back in recession. Stats Canada suggested that. The finance minister is no. Just because it's the technical definition of a recession But, you know, 2 decreasing quarters doesn't mean we're in one. We'll ask Peter DeLuey about this when we come right back.
Do you need help getting your original Pfizer medication, like Celebrex, Lipitor, Norvasc, and Effexor XR? Now you can save on your medication with the new Pfizer Préférence program, exclusive to Quebec, so you can choose the medication you trust. It's simple. Pay for your prescription, submit your receipts online, and get money back on your card. Pfizer Préférence. Your medication, your choice. Sign up today at pfizerpreference.ca.
Because we want you to save every week, at IGA we chow down on prices. And right now, we're chowing down like never before. Until July 8th, your local IGA is offering whole, seedless watermelons from the U.S. for only $3.99 each. And for a simple and summery meal, pick up Flamingo's frozen chicken breast strips in packs of 680 grams for only $5.99. IGA, food is everything.
Renovco, Montreal's renovation company with industry credentials, needs to build a new wall in their design center just to display all the awards earned. The latest, the Consumer's Choice Award. Again, the top 500 fastest growing companies across